Okay, so I've been digging around on this post for a while here. If you haven't read it already, pause it, give it a read. But I've been dealing with people in the comment sections for quite a while here, and one thing I want to say to OP and anyone that wants to make a post like this, I think the post itself is a good idea. I think there's aspects that should be changed, and people should be made aware of those things that I would like to change, because it helps the long term goal. And the long term goal is to get people to do what you want, which is to not body shame, right? So if you don't want to be body shamed, you have to come from a place of neutrality. You cannot come from a place of negativity. If you come from a place of negativity, you sound bitter, people don't take you seriously, and the cause goes nowhere. If the long term goal is that we want to get rid of body shaming, we cannot body shame in the context. So, this is something a lot of people have taken issue with, and they've also gone through his post history, which is to be expected at this point. Being post history is like the most effective way to um, devalue the opinion of the person speaking, which is not good, but it is somewhat valid some of the time. So, this is something that people have taken a lot of issue with. I have accepted to respect women that are huge with fat rolls everywhere, or women who look like boys with flat chests. It's time to respect people with small dicks. I read that wrong, but anyways. People have taken a lot of issue with this, and I will try and explain why that is. So first of all, we already know he's biased towards himself, because that's a given. Everyone's biased towards himself. And he will have more forgiveness for himself versus others. Because, again, baseline. That's most people, even when they're being negative, you still usually have a bias towards yourself or towards your own opinion. So, I have accepted to respect women that are huge with fat rolls. That commentary, that wording gives the impression that that is not true. I think a better way to put that would be um like, because I don't think he's just speaking on behalf of himself, something that to the effect of like society is more accepting towards people that are overweight, because using the word fat and rolls in the same sentence just doesn't come off very palatable. And as a person who is fat, who grew up in a generation where being overweight was not ideal, the word roll has a really negative connotation. Like there's no real positive application for the word roll. Um Unless it's like random smutty porn. But anyways, uh so it doesn't give the impression that he has respect for those people. Um and also just the wording, like using the word huge, like that's kind of irrelevant. Like it doesn't matter how overweight. It's You got the message, right? Like he's driving it home too hard, and that's why that feels disingenuous. So it's very important to come from neutrality. So that's the first part of it. The second part here, um, or women who look like boys with flat chests. That comparison is harmful. So first of all, it's harmful to men because not every man has a flat chest, right? So that's demeaning men that are overweight or have, sometimes people have just excess fat in their chest. And that's perfectly normal for a lot of people. So it's, first of all, demeaning men. So it's important not to demean men when you're trying to say don't demean men, right? But then it's also massively demeaning women, because women that don't fit a beauty standard, which is what we're talking about here, right? We're fitting some sort of beauty standard, saying that dicks have to be a certain type, right? If you're gonna demean another person or another faction of people with the same sort of language that's harming you, that's very distasteful. And just the fact that women who look like boys, so you're not even saying women who look like men, you're saying women who look like infantile men. So that's extra demeaning, and that doesn't show a level of respect. So another way you could put that so that it is showing a level of respect is to say people have gone behind, or have gotten behind the body positive movement for women who don't fit the beauty standard for having large breasts, because that is the beauty standard. It's not about being I don't know how I want to put this, but it's not simply just not being a little boy. It's not being the ideal woman, right? So it's not, we don't want to compare to infantile men. And it's also really demeaning to compare the sexes continually in the first place, because women and men, there's variation in both genders. And you can be a tomboy, which again is, I'm not going to get into why that's a terrible name for them, but like, it's not like, there's tomboys, and tomboys can be beautiful. And a lot of people really do find tomboys very attractive, but it's just the fact that there's always this negative connotation of looking like a man or looking like a boy, etc. That's not, you don't look like a boy, you look like that type of woman. So it's important not to use, and like, I obviously just did it, so it's important to try not to use that type of language, because it's not helping anybody. It's not helping any of our cases at this point, because we're just comparing unnecessarily. So, and then he goes into say, you guys are wrong. I am for body positivity, but then he does so in a way that's not helpful. What I meant it was that fat women or women with flat chests are accepted by everyone, unlike dicks of all sizes. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. Women with flat chests are not universally loved. Like, they're just not. There's, as a woman without a flat chest, I can certainly tell you that there are many men that would far rather be with women with large breasts versus not large breasts. And I'm not even the ideal body type. I have large breasts, but I don't have what people call the hourglass figure or whatever. Even with that negative or perceivably negative body type, men still far prefer my chest over many other women's chests. And so to say that is demeaning towards the people that you're saying that you understand or you're comparing to. Because if you're going to compare to them, you're going to say, like, we have a commonality. Well, obviously you don't, because you're not treating them like there is a commonality. And And I do recognize there certainly are a number of men that are accepting, and a number of women. I personally, as a woman, prefer women with smaller breasts, but that's not that's an anecdotal thing, and we talk about that a lot on, or that's been talked about a lot on SDP. I don't talk about it anymore because I'm banned, but anyways, that's been said a lot because it's an anecdotal thing. Like, it's just because you like something doesn't mean the vast majority of people like it, right? So what he's saying here is not helpful to them either. It's somewhat demeaning to them. And fat women are not accepted by everyone either. Again, I am not of an ideal body type. People will straight up tell me that I would be prettier if I wasn't so fat. Not well, if I lost weight is how they word it. But that's beyond the point. They basically tell me that I'm not attractive the way I am. So this comment is not true. Women are not universally liked for their bodies, and it's changing, but a lot of it's due to marketing, and a lot of it's due to making money. It doesn't actually have anything to do with people really being that accepting. People are getting more accepting, again, like I said, but that does not mean that they are accepting by and large. I was mostly banned because of fat shaming from SDP, because I refused to be fat shamed, and then I was told to take it to comments, to direct messaging, and I said no, I don't want to be fat shamed. Ban that person, because it's something that's bannable. And then he banned me. So what does that tell you right there? Like, it tells you that this comment is not true. It tells you that it is still acceptable to shame women for their bodies. And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So if this person, if OP is listening to this, it's not that I don't believe that you have respect for women. I think that your respect for women is limited. I think you could think more critically about why you worded things the way you worded things, and I think it shows a level of resentment, and resentment does not breed respect. So if you have resentment towards these people for having something that you don't have, which is to you is perceived acceptability, you really shouldn't be upset with them. You should be happy for them. And you should also ask for the same kind of help that they're getting, which I know is difficult. But again, if you don't come from neutrality, which you're not from here, then you're not going to get what you want. And we get in this circular problem where people in the comment section, as you can see right here, I think in the second row, for example here, people start to disparage you, basically saying that you're an incel, and it's no longer about your comments, it's about you or this person, small dick energy. And point made. This is body shaming, but it's body shaming because you didn't come from a place of neutrality. And it doesn't make it okay, but that it's so important to make sure that your point of view comes out the way you need it to, because people will make any excuse not to listen. And it's part of that whole persuasion theory, where people People cannot understand things that are outside their realm of understanding. And if you want people to expand their point of view, if you want them to expand their ideologies, you have to come from a place where it's safe to learn. If you feel attacked, you cannot learn. So the women with small breasts feel attacked. The women that are fat feel attacked. The people that like those people feel attacked. So that's why it's very important. And it might not be completely valid because he's not technically attacking anyone. But that doesn't matter. That's it. The thing about people is when they hear anything negative, they will listen to it and they will stick with it. If you say, you're amazing, I love you, everything you do is great, but you have a big butt, they'll be like, oh my god, you think my butt's big? It doesn't matter what you said before that, because they were waiting to hear the negative thing. And people with extreme insecurities are always waiting to hear the negative thing because it's self-perpetuating, right? If you hear something negative, you stick to it because you believe that is the most true. It's in your realm of understanding. So you have to come from a neutral place. If you don't come from a neutral place, they will only hear the insult and they will only use the insult. Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope it was informative. I hope it wasn't too repetitive, but the repetition is almost completely planned because repetition equals memory. Memory is needed for the ability to change. So I hope this helped. Bye, you guys.